If you're over 55 and you have a driver's license in the United States, you need to stop what you're doing and pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you. Because there's a new rule taking effect in 2026 that could completely change how you renew your license, and most people have absolutely no idea it's coming. I'm not talking about a small update. I'm not talking about a minor fee increase or a new photo requirement. I'm talking about a fundamental shift in how states are approaching driver's license renewals for older adults. And if you don't prepare for it now, you could find yourself unable to legally drive, even if you've had a clean record your entire life. So let's break this down completely, because you deserve to know exactly what's happening, why it's happening, and most importantly, what you can do about it right now. For decades, renewing your driver's license in most states was a straightforward process. You walked in, paid a small fee, maybe took an eye exam, got your photo taken, and walked out with a new card. Easy, simple, done. But that system is changing, and it's changing specifically for drivers who are 55 and older. Here's the background you need to understand. Over the past several years, data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and various state transportation departments has been showing a trend that lawmakers simply couldn't ignore any longer. While older drivers are often among the most experienced and cautious on the road, there is a documented increase in certain types of accidents among drivers in the 70 and above age range. Things like wrong-way entries, failure to yield, and intersection-related crashes. These patterns are largely tied to changes in vision, reaction time, and cognitive processing that can come with age. And because the baby boomer generation is now pushing deep into their 70s and 80s as a massive demographic wave, the number of older drivers on American roads is higher than it has ever been in history. State governments, insurance companies, and federal transportation advisors have been meeting behind closed doors for years, trying to figure out what to do about this. And what they've landed on is a new framework that several states are beginning to roll out starting in 2026. A framework that could require drivers over 55 to undergo additional screening steps that were never required before. Now, what does that actually look like in practice? Depending on the state you live in, the new requirements may include shorter renewal intervals for older drivers. In many states, the standard renewal period is every 8 years. Under the new framework, drivers over 55 or 60 could be required to renew every 4 years or even every 2 years. That means more frequent trips to the DMV, more fees, and more opportunities to be flagged for additional testing. Beyond the renewal interval, some states are now implementing mandatory vision screenings that go far beyond the simple eye chart test you're used to. These new screenings are designed to detect issues like peripheral vision loss, contrast sensitivity problems, and depth perception changes, all of which affect driving ability but wouldn't show up in a standard DMV eye test. If you fail these more advanced screenings, you may be required to see a licensed ophthalmologist and provide documentation before your renewal can be processed. But here's where it gets really serious. Several states are piloting what are being called cognitive fitness assessments as part of the renewal process for drivers over a certain age threshold. These are not full neurological exams, but they are standardized tests designed to flag potential cognitive decline that could affect driving. Things like memory recall, processing speed, and spatial awareness. If your score falls below a certain threshold, you may be referred to your physician, required to take a road skills test, or in more severe cases, have your license suspended pending medical clearance. And the road skills test component is another major piece of this. Right now, most adult drivers in America never have to take a behind-the-wheel test after they pass the original one as teenagers. Under the new rules being considered and implemented in various states, drivers above a certain age, in some cases as low as 70, in others starting at 75, may be required to demonstrate their driving skills in an actual road test as part of the renewal process. This is something that would have been considered completely radical just 10 years ago. Today, it's becoming policy. Now let's talk about why this matters to you specifically if you're between 55 and 69, Because you might be thinking, wait, a lot of these specific measures seem targeted at drivers who are older than me. And you're right that many of the strictest new requirements are initially aimed at drivers 70 and above. But here's what's critical to understand. The 2026 rules in several states establish 55 as the age at which your renewal file gets flagged for enhanced review. That means even if the extra testing doesn't apply to you today, your record is now being monitored differently. And as these policies evolve, and they will evolve, that age threshold is likely to come down, not go up. There's also the insurance dimension that most people aren't talking about. Insurance companies have access to DMV data, and they are already beginning to adjust their risk models based on renewal outcomes for older drivers. If you are flagged during a renewal process, even if you ultimately pass all the requirements, that flag can show up in your insurance profile and affect your premiums. Some insurers are already working with states to receive automatic notifications when a driver over a certain age is referred for additional testing or medical review. So what can you actually do right now to protect yourself? The first thing is to find out exactly when your license expires and what state you're in, because the rules vary significantly from state to state. California, Florida, Illinois, and New York are among the states moving most aggressively on this, but nearly every state has some version of this conversation happening at the legislative level. Second, schedule a comprehensive vision exam with an actual eye doctor, not just the DMV eye chart. Get a full report that you can keep on file. If there are issues with your vision, you want to know about them and address them proactively, not find out about them at the DMV counter when your renewal is on the line. Third, talk to your primary care physician about your overall health, and specifically about whether there are any conditions or medications that could affect your driving. Certain blood pressure medications, sleep aids, anxiety medications, and even common antihistamines can affect reaction time and alertness in ways that might matter during a road skills assessment. Fourth, if you haven't driven on a highway or in heavy traffic recently, start doing it now. Don't let your skills get rusty. Consider taking a voluntary refresher driving course. AARP offers one, AAA offers one, and many community programs have them as well. Not only will this sharpen your abilities, but in many states, completing a certified course can actually earn you a discount on your car insurance and may even be noted positively in your renewal file. Fifth, and this is the one most people skip, pay attention to your state legislature. These policies are still being shaped, and public comment matters. Several states have delayed or modified their rollout based on feedback from constituents. Your voice has power here, and organizations like AARP are actively lobbying on behalf of older drivers to make sure these new requirements are fair, evidence-based, and don't result in unnecessary license revocations for capable, safe drivers.